A combustion reaction is a reaction or a chemical reaction that requires fuel, oxygen, and ignition or a heat source. So you may have heard that the Hcmc succeeded in filing the motion to amend the complaint. So what you are looking at right now is that filing as Pace Monitor has it. So we have it there. We have 6 points or 6 6 points of various pages. So yes, they succeeded in filing that motion yesterday, the 6th of August 2021. Everybody was waiting for that. Some folks were holding on just some sauce shark infested waters platform, and there was a live stream there. So all in all, yes, they succeeded in filing that motion, and based on what they did, it looks like something they did. I mean, quite on point, quite in line right now. So they began by saying that the main argument from Hcmc is that they are pleading with the judge to be allowed to enter a new complaint for the reasons they stated. So in the initial statement, Hcmc tried to refute Philip Morris's allegation concerning how the stock has been trading, saying that those were baseless and dangerous, a possible ploy to damage Hcmc and more. So they can see that is Declaration 6. That is from John Olmert. John Olmert is the Chief Financial Officer at Hcmc. So in this motion, when they let's quickly address that Declaration 6. So that declaration is a rebuttal that insiders are trading, because that is what Philip Morris mentioned, and also tried to point out that all of us here trading Hcmc stock, we're all idiots, and we don't know what we're doing and all that stuff. But probably even trying to manipulate the stock, and then the officers and the directors are also taking advantage of all of that. In some ways, very quite petty. So this declaration of John Olmert, was to refute that. So it contains an exhibit from their transfer agent. Their transfer agent is Equity Stock Transfers. So that letter contained an accurate account of statements from Hcmc officers Jeffrey Holman, John Olmert, Christopher Santi, and then directors Clifford Friedman and Anthony Panariello. So in essence, this declaration is to assert that there is no securities fraud that Philip Morris has tried to purport, in their last statement. That was their filing denying motion for extension, or rather, sorry, they are filing, that is number 45, the response in motion RE 44 for extension of time to file its motion to leave to amend the complaint. Okay, so that is where Hcmc, you can see Hcmc stock price and all that stuff, Hcmc speculation, some of these things, inside activity. They were all the cases. These were all points where Philip Morris tried to purport that the directors and all of us involved, or everybody involved in Hcmc, the people working and running Hcmc, and all of us, the shareholders and the traders, we're all idiots. We are, probably crying and saying, you guys are, that, whatever it is, So in addition, in this declaration, that's what the Chief Financial Officer and through their transfer agent, Equity Stocks Transfers, try to put that to rest and refute and dispute that. So then in Amendment 2, so rather attention, this exhibit amendment to complaints, this one here, number 2, they asserted that PM is, before that, in this motion they filed, when they accuse the infringing product, they actually, when they accuse the infringing product, they actually mention IQOS specifically. There are no more ambiguities, or they zero down to that combustion issue as one would expect, as they asserted that the IQS is the main reason this case ever arose. So in this motion, they zeroed down and they always mentioned IQOS, and it is the key issue, combustion IQOS. That is why this case ever arose. That is why we have an infringement on their patent. Okay, so they zeroed down. They were not messing around anymore, and this is what the judge wanted them to do, and they did that. So, and that moving on to that item number 2, attachment 2. Okay, so that, which is that amended complaint, they asserted that Philip Morris is talking about a different kind of combustion. So they brought in an expert, Dr. Michael Dybel, and that's Dr. Michael Dybel here. Indeed, he is an expert. He's a doctor of philosophy. Probably, I'm not exactly sure if it's a chemical engineering or some sort of engineering field that is related to chemicals. So we can see that's the expert. We believe this is the expert that did that. They provided the evidence for them. Okay? So this is ResearchGate. This is a platform where you can find research, peer-reviewed academic journals and publications. So that's the guy there. I may be wrong, but I believe he's the one, Michael Dybel. So moving on, that expert supported the assertion that indeed there is combustion, and he defined what combustion means. They addressed Philip Morris' statement about the FDA and asserted that it does not overcome Hcmc's allegation of direct infringement. Here they pointed out that Philip Morris defined combustion in a manner that will aid their defense of the allegation, and not a scientifically broad enough way to define what combustion is. So this is because combustion is a scientific topic or issue. So as combustion is a scientific issue and not a commercial one, Hcmc asserted that Philip Morris defined it as a commercial one. So they asserted that combustion, as it pertains to their patent, is a chemical reaction. This reaction was carried out by the expert, Dr. Michael Dybel. They defined combustion chemically as one that involves 3 things: fuel, oxygen, and heat. From here, they try to prove that the IQS meets all the limitations of the asserted claims of the 170 patent, including the requirement to achieve combustion. So specifically to combustion, Hcmc alleges that 1. A combustion reaction is a chemical reaction that requires fuel, oxygen, and ignition or heat source. So this is known as the fire triangle. Okay, IQOS operates at temperatures up to 350 degrees. So they're gradually now trying to prove this point. The IQOS system ignites, or rather initiates, a combustion reaction in the chamber of its holder. And then the IQS system generates combustion markers, including carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, in sufficient quantities to indicate that at least some combustion occurs in the IQS system. So you can't have carbon monoxide scientifically until maybe other evidences appear. You really can't have carbon monoxide when there isn't any combustion. Usually, I mean, there's a chance for that to occur. It's not very high alone. It is usually the outcome of incomplete combustion. It is usually the outcome of combustion. So, and carbon monoxide is indeed, or rather, as this expert has come out to prove that there is carbon monoxide in the IQOS system. So, the heating element initiates a combustion reaction in the combustible material reservoir by the heating blade, which in turn heats the heat stick to 350 degrees centigrade. At temperatures lower than 350 degrees centigrade, a combustion reaction is initiated in the chamber of the IQS system. The three key things there they have tried to point out to prove that there is fuel, oxygen, and ignition. Here, yes, the temperature is a heat source, or the temperature is there. For it to reach that, something must have done that. So it says IQS generates combustion. Okay, a heating element is there, which is a heat source, one, and then obviously air definitely is infused somehow, somewhere, and then there's a fuel there, which is the combustible material. So that is the three things there. Oxygen comes in definitely to the chamber from some point, and then there's a combustible material, which is the fuel, and then there is a heating element. So they have pointed out three things there that completes that fire cycle, a combustible cycle. So the above applied the IQS to the patent. So that's how they apply the IQS system to their patent. So they are pretty much on point. This is what they were probably expected to do in the initial filing, but you never know whether it is whether they pop up they strategically did not do that, probably expecting that this is the direction things are going to go. But in any case, the point is that they should have done that, and this is what the judge expected them to do in the initial complaints. Then they didn't do that. So the judge has to accept the definitions as the truth. He has to accept this definition that Hcmc has given. Remember also that Philip Morris is going to respond in 2 weeks' time, so we're expecting Philip Morris's response by Friday the 20th of August 2021, and indeed they're going to come out and they will try to refute this definition of combustion, this chemical definition of combustion. So, but at the same time as well, note that Hcmc has defined the combustion in their patent as a chemical combustion. It's a chemical reaction, and they have in this motion and the depositions and the exhibits that the IQS operates in just that way. There's even I believe there's an allegation. There is a Hcmc, or rather Philip Morris is also trying to, in the previous filings, I believe, also trying to assert that they did not know that they infringed on Hcmc's patent and all that stuff. So fingers crossed. Let's see how things pan out. Okay, and as for the stock, it's close up 6.25% for sure. This was maybe as a speculation, but the news, obviously, this filing did not come out, until well after the market closed. Probably sometime close to, I don't exactly know when it was filed. So let's see whether we can get the time when it was filed. We don't have the time when. Okay. 11:16 p.m. So 11:16 p.m. Eastern US time. So that's a few minutes to midnight. So that was definitely way after the market had closed, and there isn't really any aftermarket activity for Hcmc stock. So all in all, it closed up at 0.0009 and a 6.25% extension. 413.1 million shares across the tape, which was below average. So 200 market cap is 261.7. And what we have here, I think the stock, yes, it appears to be improving within a longer term uptrend, although it's presently below its 200 day moving average. Okay, that average is rising. The 200 day moving average is rising, okay, due to prior gains in Hcmc's. Okay, so I wouldn't call it rising, it's just still tracking what the bullishness of the previous activity. So average 10-day volume is 2.5 billion shares. So it is this volume is way below that. So all in all, fingers crossed, there's a good chance this will look up again in the comment sessions in the following session of the 9th of August. Fingers crossed. Hcmc, I believe, has put its case in line with what the judge requires, I believe, and it is we have to wait for Philip Morris to respond to that, and then the judge has to accept Hcmc's case, or rather just has to now after that the judge will decide if the case has to go forward or not. So I think it's a positive, and everybody's probably feeling positive about this. So we'll continue to update you, and definitely we'll try to update you again come 9th of August 2021, which is Monday. And stay safe out there. See you in the next one.